What's up, Nasties? How you doing? Happy Wednesday. Happy Canada Game Day. We're 1 hour away. 1 hour away from Canada versus Switzerland. As I turn off my computer. Great lock shop with LTE and the Cube. And right now, it's the one and only, the great Reid Wilkins. The most loved member of EST.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting alongside probably one of the most hated on EST, Hernan Salas.
Oh, come on, baby.
Reid Wilkins. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Oh, thanks for joining me. It's going to be a fun show. Can't wait. And we got YouTube travel on the ones and twos. About to leave. About to call it a day. It is the Oil Stream presented by Boston Pizza. Like always, as we're coming to you live here from the west end of the city. Reid's got his Canada hat on. He's ready to go.
Yeah.
Trev's looking at me like a weirdo.
Canada 1-0 when I've worn this hat.
Oh, look at that.
On air. Now, I wore this during because
Qatar?
The Qatar game was on during our show. The first match was on during your show.
Yes.
The second match was on during our show, and Jay said we had to dress up, which I did. So but I didn't want to put a lot of effort into the dressing up.
Yeah, okay.
So I have the oven mitt. I didn't bring the oven mitt.
That's
got
okay.
the Canada oven mitt. Jay has kind of like a bucket hat. And I wore this last week too. I wore the Wolverine shirt.
Oh,
because
look at this guy.
Wolverine is a Canadian character.
Yeah.
So I'm ready for the match at 1. That's really look, I know this is the Oil Stream. We're going to talk hockey, but the Canadian match is the biggest sports story in Canada today.
Yes. So if you're going to make a trade in the NHL, hold it till tomorrow. Okay?
Or if you're going to make a terrible trade, announce it at 1:30 Mountain Time and see what happens. There's the mitt.
Stan Bowman
sits right there.
Stan Bowman, if you're going to make a bad trade, make it during this game because no one will be paying attention. I still think they will be. Oiler fans are crazy passionate.
Yeah.
It's just nice to see blue skies after a terrible weather-wise over the weekend. I keep wanting to call you Joaquin. I'm so used to it.
No, it's all right.
For that. Reid Wilkins, interesting day yesterday. Mike Babcock named the Edmonton Oilers head coach. DJ Smith joins him as assistant. Paul Coffey out as well behind the bench. But McFarland and Aubrey stay on as well. We're still expecting a Darnell Nurse trade. Will it happen in the next couple of days? We'll have to wait till the weekend. We don't know. And then, of course, the big free agency day next Wednesday on Canada Day, Reid Wilkins. But is there anything left lingering for you from what we saw yesterday from that press conference? That maybe you weren't able to get out yesterday during your show, and you're like, I want to talk about this today on the Oils.
Yeah, Not a lot, I guess. A lot of people have asked me, well, was it what you expected?
Yeah.
And I think I'm sort of at the point where I wouldn't say that I'm not surprised by things, but I just go into them and be like, okay, there's a news conference. Yeah. I have some questions in mind that hopefully I get to ask. And other people will ask questions, and then we'll talk about it. Nothing hugely surprised me. I've never, if I have been in that sort of a situation with Mike Babcock, I don't remember it. I may have been in a scrum once when they were here for the Olympics, like that celebration in the summer. Yeah. I was talking about this yesterday, but I don't know if I was. So any interviews I've had or where I've heard him being interviewed, I haven't been in the room. I've just heard. So I think the only moment that was kind of odd for me, and I know he kind of clarified it later and then talked about it in a one-on-one with Rashog, was when he brought up, my wife called me and said, looks like you need to get out of there in Columbus. So I went back to being retired. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
That was kind of unexpected, but then he sort of clarified it that the concern came up from the player or whatever, and then he realized he didn't have the support of his staff or didn't feel supported, so he left. All right, fair enough. He didn't specifically reply to the cell phone stuff. He didn't use the word cell phone. He didn't try to clarify what he did or didn't do.
A lot of deflection.
Yeah, which I guess I understand because then that just deepens the conversation about it. So I'm sure he wants to move on from it. Look, what's the one thing we've heard about him is that he's extremely arrogant. That came through yesterday.
100%.
And look, everybody, I'm not saying that that's a bad thing or making a judgment or saying that I don't have flaws or Hernan doesn't have flaws.
I have a lot.
But, that's... to be a head coach of a pro sports team in the best league in the world, you have to have a bit of an alpha personality, and think, yes, I am good enough to walk into a room and command attention and get people to listen to me. I think with Mike Babcock, he's probably like that in every area of his life. Yeah. Like if he goes to a restaurant and orders, he probably likes to act like he knows more than the chef and the waiter. Like I think that's just. But that's him.
That's kind of the Oilers, because Stan Bowman was asked about, do they care about the fans? He kind of worked around the question saying, yeah, we do. But Jeff Jackson, I guess, talked to Greg Wyshynski yesterday, and Jeff Jackson said, we don't listen to social media. We know the fans have opinions, but we do what we want. And that's the arrogance of the Edmonton Oilers. And that's and listen, I'm not saying they should listen to fans or listen to social media. That's not good management either. But that's just the arrogance of this team. And like you said, yeah, he came off arrogant. There was no self-reflection. There was no accountability for me. The only, and then I was thinking of this yesterday evening, and like his statement was when he met with Connor and Leon and Zach Hyman. Hey, if you want all of Mike Babcock, the good, bad, and ugly, I'm in.
Yeah.
If you guys can't deal with all of it, I won't go there. And they said yes. So I anticipate there's going to be issues with certain players. There's going to be issues that arise from this, Reid, because he made it known, I'm probably going to do something stupid, and I'll apologize later if I remember, or these two guys will keep me in check. And he pointed at Stan Bowman and DJ Smith. So we know there's going to be some issues with one player or another, or a staff member, event staff member, arena staff member that's going to come out and be like, this guy was rude to me, this guy did that.
Right.
Listen, there's nothing we can do about it now, Reid. He's the head coach of the Edmonton Oilers. The big boys signed off on this. They did. So all I'm saying is when crap does hit the fan, I don't want to hear it. I don't, because this is what you signed up for. So I'll ask you this. In our business, we do a lot of the what ifs.
For sure.
And I just brought up a situation. So once an issue arises with Mike Babcock and one of the players, because there will be. You got to be incredibly naive not to think that something's not going to pop up. With a young player or a depth player, and he's feeling the wrath of Mr. Mikey B. Reid. Does someone need to stand up for that player? Let's say it's for this argument, Matt Savoy. Does Connor, Leon, and Hyman need to step up here and do something about it? Does Stan Bowman need to stand up and do something about it? Or does Matt Savoy just need to man up, like everybody likes to say, and deal with it?
Yeah, well, okay, but I mean, look, there's a certain amount of conflict or discomfort between a coach and a player, I think, is normal.
Yes.
And maybe even productive.
They're not buddy-buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
So, why has Babcock got in trouble? Because he, perhaps bullied people or
crosses a line.
He flexed, the Modano stuff, the Spezza stuff. Like there's one thing for a coach to have authority. It's another thing for a coach to make decisions just for the sake of proving he has authority.
Yes.
There was no reason to bench Modano other than to just prove, hey, no one's bigger than the team.
Yeah.
Except me, Mr. Modano. So you sit down.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think that I don't know if there's okay. So what could he do? I think he knows probably don't ask a player to list their teammates. Even though he might not say things publicly, I'm sure he knows. Okay, I'm not gonna. I was talking about their cell phones or their personal lives or whatever. He'll probably stay away from that. I mean, if there's
Willie though.
Well, I guess I don't know. I mean, I assume DJ Smith is there maybe to be the. I think Button was talking about it like a bit of a good cop, bad cop situation. I would think that, it's interesting. Connor and Leon and Hyman are signing off on this guy and saying, at least this summer, we're willing to do things that we haven't done before.
Yeah.
Babcock claims he's harder on the best players than on the scrubs.
We'll see.
But I think that makes sense though, because if you get the big guys to do it, then the other guys should have to do it. So then you don't have, as a coach, you don't have to go
Yeah.
to whoever and say, why aren't you doing this? It should just be they see Connor and Leon doing it. So I don't know. I would think DJ Smith would be that first line if something needs to be smoothed over.
Yeah.
That's how I would interpret that based on their pre-existing relationship and how they act.
So you wouldn't think the captain of the Oilers would have to intervene or he's kind of like the second, third option. Like, hey, Babs, lay off a bit. Like, we're good here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if a young player is like, hey, I'm really struggling with this guy. He's being a real, you know what? Like, he's making me do, like you said, things that don't, like, that's gotten him in trouble in the past. That's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Right? Not being hard on a player because he doesn't back check. Like, that's normal. Every coach is going to probably ream you out or give you a hard time.
Right.
And I think that's where we're all in agreement. I think this has nothing to do with holding players accountable, Reid. We're all on board with that,
right,
especially the big boys.
Right.
But do we trust Mike Babcock to step over that line like he has in every stop he's made?
Right.
Right? Do we trust that? And when it does happen, because it could happen, there's a good possibility it will, how will it be handled? That's the questions I have going into this season. And listen, we might not even hear about it.
Well, of course not.
Right?
I mean, there's a lot of stuff you don't hear about behind the scenes. I don't know. I think I think that's why DJ Smith is there to smooth things like that over.
Okay.
Babcock, he's not going to stop pushing guys. He's not going to stop asking guys to be better, nor should he. He just has to understand that there's areas that a coach doesn't have to delve into.
100%. Okay, so on the accountability thing, I think every coach that's come in here has said the same. We'll hold everybody accountable. I'm going to spread the lineup out. Everybody's going to play. Everybody's going to have a role.
Right.
And we always end up in the same spot. The 29 and 97 playing a ton.
Yeah.
So if I were to ask you, Reid, why will it be different with this guy? What would you say?
I don't know if it's going to be different. And then this is the biggest question, is that how will he actually deploy the players? Because every coach has said we have to get everybody involved and we have to have roles, and then the longer they've coached, the more the roles have sort of degraded, and it's just been the McDavid and Draisaitl show.
Yes.
It happened with Tippett. Derek Ryan, while he was playing, came out and basically said he's stripping the roles away from the depth guys. Woodcroft came in, spread it around a little bit. He have like 9 guys killing penalties. He had like 4 or 5 forward pairs killing penalties. Spread that around, and then went bad for him. And then Knobloch comes in and has the best roster probably of anybody. Yeah. And then this last year it was kind of like, as Bowman said, too much of Leon and Connor, too much relying on the power play. So I don't know that. I can't say for sure that Babcock is not going to lean on those guys. I mean, I guess they're still going to have the most ice time of anybody,
and with good reason.
I think it's how they're used. Like, so it wasn't so much that Knobloch went to those guys when they were behind. It was that he went to them when they were behind a goal 6 minutes into the second period.
Exactly.
As opposed to let's still let the game flow. Let's trust some other guys to get back in.
Let's see if other guys can contribute.
I mean, of course, look, I'm gonna say this right now, everybody. And if I'm wrong 10 games into the season, please tell me. If the Oilers are down 2 goals with 5 minutes left, or a goal with 5 minutes left, Leon and Connor are playing 2.5 or 3 minutes. I don't think that's going to change under Mike Babcock.
No.
Mike Babcock's not going to roll the 4th line down a goal or 2 late in the game.
Yeah. But I think all fans understand that because they're 2 of the greatest players in the world, and they're brilliant. And they score a lot of goals with the goalie pulled, with the man advantage. So I think in the last 5 minutes, everybody's okay with that. What I'm saying is, we're having some fun with it on ESC afternoons. When will he go nuclear to start the season? I think it's going to be pretty early because coaches just can't help themselves because they're brilliant together. Like
Right.
it's like, but it's a crutch also, right? Because then the other guys don't get a lot of playing time. We see a lot of issues with that. So with Bab saying yesterday and Stan Bowman saying we need to find roles, we didn't have that last year. And listen, I know I keep harping on this, but his main player he's talking about is Trent Frederick because he signed him. He wants him to play. He wants him to do well. I'm sorry, but I'll say it again. Knobloch did nothing wrong with Trent Frederick last year. Trent Frederick got exactly what he deserved in terms of ice time. Okay? That's it. Plain and simple. Now, if he comes back and has a good year and Babs wants to use him a lot, then all the power to him. But at the end of the day, like we heard the same things every coach that's come in has said, Reid. So to me, I'm just like, it's a wait and see. Like yesterday on our show, because now in the offseason, we're going to do a lot of what ifs because we don't know how Babs is going to coach his team. Does Nugent-Hopkins' role diminish a little bit? Does Podkolzin remain a top 6 forward for Mike Babcock?
Right.
Like, these are all valid questions that we just don't know. Like, that was Knobloch's thing. And then a lot of people on our clip on the socials were saying, but every coach has loved Nuge. And I understand that. But Nuge is declining too.
Well, Nuge isn't a great 5-on-5 player.
No.
As we know, right? So, I mean, he has spurts where he is. He always seems he has like he's got 10 points in 6 games, and it's like, oh, yeah, and then it kind of goes back to where it's been. I think Babcock's going to love Podkolzin. I mean, I would think if you watch the Oilers this year and he saw Podkolzin, he's like, great, there's a guy who's always in the right spot, wins board battles, can kill penalties, can finish chances, plays tough, doesn't take stupid penalties. Like, I think that's a Babcock type of player. So I wouldn't surprise me if he gets quite a bit of ice time and has a good year.
Yeah, no.
I'm curious to see how he uses Nugent-Hopkins.
Yeah.
Does he leave him with, assuming he even leaves McDavid and Hyman together?
Yeah.
Where does he think, Nuge has always been the winger there, I'm going to leave him there? Or does he say, no, Nuge, like you have to, if you're on that line, you still have to get more 5-on-5 points. And if you don't, you get bounced down.
For you, Reid, like not what's Babs going to do. What's the perfect spot for Nuge going into the season?
I don't know.
No,
I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, if he's on a line with Dickinson and somebody else, I mean, maybe that could be a good line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like he's still a very good player. It's just like we had somebody in our show. He's probably on your show. His handle is Ryan Nothing Happens RNH. And I get it. He doesn't have a lot of spark to his game, but he's still a very good player, and he still does a lot of little things.
He's still on the power
really
play.
well, and he's still on the power play.
Yeah.
He still helps the power play. He's still part of one of the best power plays in NHL history.
He's still going to be on the PK,
Right.
but like you said, 5-on-5, the production's going to diminish. It already has. He doesn't produce a lot with McDavid, which I think is a misconception. A lot of people think they're great together. Well, I mean, they don't play bad, but there's just not huge production there. So that's a fascinating one also. I was going to ask you something else, and I totally lost my train of thought.
It's all right. People can post in the nasty chat. I'll read a couple things. Give us a thumbs up if you're there as well.
People are saying, I'm excited to see a defensive structure. But Reid, Mike Bab's teams in Toronto were never good defensively. They weren't terrible, but they weren't elite either. So I don't know where this is coming from that he's all of a sudden going to be this defensive guru.
But I think the feeling is, and I think you can make this argument, is that there's nowhere to go but up. Okay?
Exactly.
All right, so I'll repeat this again. Here was my criticism of Knobloch.
Yeah.
And mine wasn't so much with the ice time or the deployment or the lines. Mine is that he talked a lot about players feeling confident and putting them in a position to succeed, which is important.
Yes.
Which is part of a coach's job, which is why we saw a lot of the line shuffling. He's like, hey, this guy's got to feel good. Okay, I got to get him feeling good. Got to move these guys around. So it worked for him when you got, let's face it, in 23-24, maybe the best Oilers lineup since 1990.
Yeah.
And you can scratch Corey Perry, and you can scratch Warren Fogle, and you can scratch Ryan McLeod, and you can scratch Cody Ceci in the playoffs and have other competent players
and not fill
in for a game or two, and then get those guys coming back, and they go in and do a good job. So, but I never felt Knobloch, and he often talked about attacking and feeling good and having the puck. He didn't talk a lot about worrying about what the other team was doing and trying to take something away from them. So I think that's why the players got frustrated, because they probably saw, well, we're playing John Cooper and he's counteracting what we're doing and we're not adjusting. We just have a coach shuffling lines and trying to make us feel good.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was your original question?
What was my original? No, I even
where I was going. So anyway. So the defensive structure.
Yeah.
So I think with the defensive structure, there's probably nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, because it can't get any worse.
In some ways, you know, like, okay, what are we actually doing? Like, where are we going in our own end? You know, or what's an opponent going to do? What's a thing or two we can be conscious of to take away from them? You know, now, but the players have to do that, and this is the thing. We've seen this feedback. Okay, yes, McDavid and Draisaitl need to be coached, but isn't there a certain level of defensive awareness that you should have as a 29, 30-year-old player, regardless of your coach?
100%. Like, and that's what's troubling to me. So I'm going to read you a quote. Mike Commodore, who's, we all know, hates Mike Babcock.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost gotten a little excessive with him, yeah.
He joined the show earlier today, and he said, this is a quote, and I just want to get your thoughts. If Edmonton needs Mike Babcock to come in there so McDavid and Draisaitl listen to a coach, I think that's a problem. Any thoughts?
Yes. I think that, well, that's kind of just what I was saying. I mean, okay, they want a better coach. I mean, Connor probably went to the Olympics and fell in love with Cooper, or already loved him.
Yeah.
They probably thought in the back of their minds in at least the second cup final, okay, Maurice has his guys better prepared than we are. So that's fair. But again, I understand what he's saying, because there are certain standards of play and things that a player can do on their own. You know, the coach doesn't have to totally dictate everything. Unless they just reach the point with Knobloch where it's like, whatever, we'll just play out the season, we'll do what he tells us, and then if we lose, then it's on him. I mean, I don't know if they were that conscious about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand. Like, it's okay. Like, you could have the worst boss in the world, but you know you have to show up on time.
100%.
You know, like maybe you don't think that he's the greatest boss in the world or fire you up to work, but there are certain things about having a job that are kind of non-negotiable and that are on you regardless of the work environment. You know, be at work on time, be prepared, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, because Gager says all the time, he goes, Gager says he liked most of his coach. He goes, but yeah, a lot of players don't get along with the coach, but they do their job the right way. Because Edmo says they're committed now. Well, that's BS. Come on. In their early 30s, 11 years, 12 years into Connor McDavid, now they're committed. And this is what blows my mind. They're committed to a coach who hasn't had any success since 2013.
No, but I wonder if Zedmo means they're committed now because they made the commitment of greenlighting the coach.
Sure. Okay, fair enough.
Right?
Fair enough. But okay, so is the biggest thing we're going to look at in the first 5 games of the season is how the core of this team that we always complain don't back check and don't defend, is that going to be probably top 2 for you?
Yeah. Well, okay, when the season starts, what am I looking for? Okay, I will look at how he deploys the team.
Oh, 100%.
How he reacts when the team is down. I'll certainly look at the PK. And then, yeah, I certainly will look at the overall defensive play. Like when they're giving up a goal, why is it going in? You know, are they beaten? Is it a bounce? Was it a good play by the offensive player? Or is it negligence? Yeah. Like, is Bouchard going to... Yeah, Zedmo meant they're committed to staying.
Oh, okay,
That's what he meant. So, you know, if Bouchard's in front of the net, is he tying up a guy? Yeah. You know, or is he backing away from the guy he's supposed to be checking? Yeah. I mean, those are the little things that Babcock is going to have to do that frustrated people watching the Oilers. It wasn't. I mean, of course they're going to lose games, but it was more like, why do they keep making the same mistakes over and over again, or the same problems keep arising? Okay, well, there's a turnover, and again, so this is. I'll go back to the Anaheim series. I brought up these 2 goals a lot. Was it Game 3? They're tied 3-3 early in the third. They turn the puck over twice in less than a minute.
Yeah,
inside the offensive blue line. And Anaheim goes down and scores, and it's 5-3. Like a winnable game when the series was still 1-1. So, you know, and you watch how most teams played in the playoffs, in that situation, okay, the puck's in deep. Knobloch kind of was like, make a play. You're always empowered to make a play.
Yeah.
Most of the teams that did well in the playoffs, you got nothing inside the offensive blue line. Do not try a risky pass. It's into the corner and go work for it.
Yeah.
All right. So, but again, to get back to what Commodore was saying, and some other people have said, well, shouldn't also a veteran player know that? Shouldn't a veteran player know, well, yeah, my coach empowers me to make a play, but I also have to understand the play's not here right now.
Yeah, and I think that's more the area I want to go into, is where, like, these guys should know that by now. Because they did it in the first run to the Cup. They were excellent defensively. They were pretty good the second year they went to the Cup. Yeah, so we all know they can defend. So now this guy's going to come in, and all of a sudden they're just going to be like, we're great defensively. I just have a hard time seeing that. So for me, we'll wait and see. Wait and see on the defensive structure, the commitment of 97 and 29 and Bouchard. So I'll ask you this, Reid, and for our listeners and viewers, of course, everybody talks about accountability. Now, Knobloch did bench Bouchard for a period last year, did bench Nurse for 12 minutes of a period, benched Leon Draisaitl for half a period.
Two shifts, I think.
Yeah.
And wasn't that the previous year?
The previous year.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of accountability. Everybody wants to see more. So I'll ask you this. Bouchard's having a bad game, couple giveaways, one leads to a goal. Are we going to be okay with Bouchard sitting out if Babs holds him accountable? Because what the Oilers did in the past, Reid, they'd play him more to get him out of it.
Right.
Right? So
or the same, yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to, or the same. Are we going to be okay with 29 stapled to the bench one game, 97 stapled to the bench? I don't see that happening, but do you know what I mean? Like, are the core guys, are you going to be okay with them being held accountable and sitting out? Maybe for a period, maybe for a shift or two. Are we going to be okay with that, Oiler fans?
Well, I'm curious what people will say. I think Babcock might do that at some point.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Like, if he's like, okay, you wanted me, guys, and you promised me you'd play a certain way, and you're not. Okay, well, you don't get the privilege of ice time today.
Yeah.
But then we have to see how the player and the team reacts to it.
Exactly.
You know, if they actually come back and do what they're supposed to be doing,
Yeah.
you know, and the message sinks in.
So the perfect example I'll give you, Reid, you're into the second period. You would have had 3 power plays, the number one unit. They haven't done squat.
Yeah.
Okay. Next 2 power play comes out. It's not power play 1, it's power play 2. Are we going to be okay with that?
I'm not okay with that.
Okay.
That's the one thing I'm not okay with.
Okay, no, that's perfect.
Power play,
Tell us why.
power play 1 should play most of the time.
Okay.
It's that good.
Okay, but if, again, so you don't care if they've gone 0 for 4 and they have no shots, you're sending them out for the 5th power play because they can score at any time, right? But a lot of people here have been clamoring for, hey, when they're struggling, don't reward them with more ice time on the power play. Give power play 2 1 minute of the 4th power play, for example.
Right.
You still wouldn't do that.
Probably not.
Okay.
No, the power play is different to me.
Okay.
The power play is like extra good. Yeah.
I mean, it's been the best power play for years.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it's third or whatever, but
Yeah.
they're clutch. But and all I've seen, because I did pre and post, and yeah, I mean, I'm talking to a legend here who's done pre and post for many, many years. Everybody was like, get them off when they're not going, because they have their streaks.
What's not going though? Like there's 0 for 2 with some chances is not going.
No, but that's what I meant. I meant like they're 0 for 3, no shots. They're just passing it around, not doing anything, because we've seen them at times have bad power plays. Mm-hmm. And then Babs is just like, I've had enough of these 5. I'm going to start the second unit and send a message.
Right.
You still would, like, I think a lot of fans would want to see that. Now, it can't happen often because I agree with you. That's how deadly their power play is. Mm-hmm. But I think in terms of what you're saying,
I could see Babcock actually having a second unit and putting him out there. But I don't. Again, the power play is so good. How long do you want to go away from a power play of that is that good? You know, like
no, and I guess there's context, because you're right. Like if they're 0 for 3, but they've created 8 shots and they got robbed and hit a crossbar, is different than going 0 for 3 and you're just there's.
Yeah, I mean, I could see a game if they're clumsy with zone entries and they're turning the puck over and giving up shorthanded chances. Okay, sure, but sometimes Knobloch took them off in that situation. But he never did he ever start the second unit except in a blowout.
Did.
I don't. I don't think that he did. I mean, I would still struggle to name the players on the second unit.
Well, it was always a mishmash of.
But I mean, if you're like equal power play time or a second unit that plays 40%, why?
Yeah.
Okay, occasionally, sure, put them on. Okay, if you're really pissed off with the first unit, okay, I guess you could start the second unit. But I mean, they're not going to have equal power play time.
But how about Reid just to send a message? Like, I'm not happy with you 5 right now. Not happy with your game.
Yeah, I could see him doing that, sure.
Okay. Jamie from Beaumont says the second power play with some time playing is never a bad thing. Second power play.
If they're terrible, it's a bad thing.
Second power play from Gord says will be just 2 new players in for Nugent Hyman, which I do think will be good. Smitty says it's deadly until one of the big dogs are hurt or out. It showed at the end of last season. That's fair. I mean, yeah, if you lose McDavid or Draisaitl, it changes the whole complexion of that.
Yeah, but they weren't hurt because they played on the power play.
No. But he's saying the power play suffered when one of them was out, right? So why not?
Oh, sure, yeah.
This one says,
how is that an argument against playing the first power play? I don't know. I don't understand that.
This one says, I wouldn't mind seeing a power play 2 with McDavid and Dry, and then other 3 guys change. Wallman, Savoy, and someone else. Are you okay with that, Reid?
Well, who else would be on it?
You take...
combining them?
You take Hyman, Bush, and Nuge out, and leave the 2 big dogs, but replace them with 3 other guys. So let's say a Wallman, Podkolzin, and Savoy.
No.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I would consider is having Wallman, so you'd have another one-timer from the outside, like maybe Wallman replacing Nugent Hopkins.
See, I don't mind that. I never minded Wallman with Bouchard on the point, because now it's not the traditional 2 guys stand at the blue line; it's 1.
Yeah,
and we all know Wallman has a really, really good shot. So, Right in the Pine says first unit been on the ice for 2 minutes. Start power play 2. Give power play 2 a breather. Nauber never did that. That's a good point, because a lot of times, and our boy Dusty would get frustrated on the morning show talking about it. They've been out there for 2 minutes. They get a power play, and they all stay out there still. No, these guys are different animals, and we are. Their fitness is impeccable. They can recover like that. But in that stance, do you see a change? No. With Babcock saying,
I don't know. I don't know enough about how he's deployed power plays in the past.
No, but would you? If they've been on, they're tired, McDavid, hey, give these other guys 45 seconds. You guys are going to go out fresh. Instead of keeping them out there.
Back-to-back power plays?
Or they're just been on the ice as a nuclear option for a whole shift, cycling in.
Well, maybe a little bit, but how often does that happen? I mean, I don't know.
With this team,
people know where I stand on the power play. This is an awesome power play. Mm-hmm. When these guys are retired, everybody's going to be crying about having a crappy power play. And I'm going to say, why didn't you enjoy the power play that we had?
So you wouldn't take Nuge off it. I'm just bugging you. A lot of people want to see Nuge off the power play. I don't know why. I'll be honest. I agree with you. He's not the best 5-on-5, but I'm not ready to take Nuge off the power play. Those 5 work amazing together. Amazing. There's no need to change it up. And I agree with you. They should see most of the minutes. But I know a lot of people want to see a power play too for some reason. So we'll leave it at that.
Okay, but again, what are we really talking about here? We're talking about a power play 2 that's going to play 30 to 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, like the first power play is going to play still over half of the 2 minutes. Maybe Babcock will change it sooner. Maybe sometimes he'll start the second power play if he's frustrated with the first one. But we're not talking about the first power play getting massively reduced ice time.
No. I mean, that's crazy though. Because Reid, I don't know if you know this. I don't. So do other top teams? I'm always so intrigued how they run their power plays. Do you know what I mean? Like, are they similar to the Oilers where it's mostly the first unit? Because there's some of the mid-tier teams, they actually
don't have one that's way better than the other.
Yeah.
Right.
So, like Carolina, did they run 2 units? Mostly?
I think so.
Did Vegas?
Well, I think so, but Eichel was on the first unit, right?
Yeah.
He played the most.
Yeah, it's very interesting. But I agree with you. I think Penner's Pancakes says right here, they have finished first in 4 of the last 7 years. Probably don't want to rock that boat.
Well, see, but he says PK roles and defensive structure is more concerned about. I mean, to me, that's the thing. Get McDavid off the penalty kill.
Yes, 100%.
And I think,
Leon and
yeah. So, like if you want to balance the ice time and give these guys a break, don't have McDavid on the PK.
There's
like
no need
flat out, do not have him on the PK. He's not good at it.
No,
and it just drives up his ice time.
There's no need to have McDavid on the power play on the PK.
On the PK.
Yeah,
no, not at all.
No, get your 6 forwards, rotate them. The Oilers have some good guys on the PK. They truly do. Savoy's good. Nuge is good. Podkolzin's good. Will Frederick get more PK time? He might, right? So Dickinson's going to be a huge part of the PK this year. So,
but the coach, okay, so you're asking me about what I'm going to see from the impact of coaching is what are they going to do on the PK?
Yeah.
Right? Like Dickinson went over in his availability on Monday how, he was with this team and they did the diamond and this team did the top-down press or whatever they're called. So they clearly need to make some tactical adjustments on the PK.
Yeah.
Okay? So because a big reason they went to the Cup final was their PK went on this crazy run. Like, weren't they only -2, 1 or 2 for the entire playoffs?
Yeah.
Because they also got shorthanded goals. Now, you don't have all those players, but it's possible to it's possible to have a better PK even with the personnel they have. Like, they brought in Murphy and Dickinson to help the PK. Did it really help?
Did it get a tad
I think
better?
it got a little better in the regular season. Then Dickinson was hurt. So that's a major issue as well. Like you talk about preventing goals against is having a better penalty kill.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And then coaching can have a lot to do that. I mean, some people who follow hockey just say you just judge a coach by how good the special teams are.
Yeah. No, it's a fascinating week, fascinating offseason. September rolls around, man, and we're going to be all over it. I'm seeing some Tuck stuff. I don't know if it's real, so I'll leave it alone until one of the insiders tweets about it. I'm not seeing anything official on Alex Tuck in a new landing spot. So if anyone has that and with the insider info, just let us know. Let's move on from the Oilers. We saw some trades yesterday, Reid.
I just want to check where they finished.
On the PK?
The Oilers PK finished... Oh, it finished 20th. I thought it was even worse than that. 77.8% in the regular season. So could they get that into the top 15 even? Shave off a few goals?
I mean, we'd take that.
Yep.
Top 15. All right. So the Sabres traded Bowen Byram and Jordan Greenway to the Blackhawks in exchange for the number 4 overall pick, number 45 in this year's draft, plus defenseman Louis Crevier. A lot of people blown away by this trade, Reid. I had my take on it. Bowen Byram is a really good defenseman. I don't think he's a top pairing defenseman. I think his contract's up after this year. I don't think Chicago's close. I don't think Greenway moves the needle much for the Chicago team. Do you have any thoughts on this trade that sees the number 4 pick where you can get a good defenseman that Chicago can build around with Connor Bedard, but they instead opt to go to Bowen Byram?
I mean, Byram had a pretty good season.
He did.
He had 42 points. He was plus 15. Like, I wonder if he's one of those players that he's going to change teams a lot, where other teams look at him and say, well, we could really use a player like that.
Yeah.
And then you have him, and it's like, well, you know what? If we didn't have him, we'd be fine.
Yeah.
Or there's better all-around guys. I just think it's interesting. This is the time of year now when it's exciting.
Yeah.
For the people who like trades. The draft and free agency day are better than the trade deadline.
Yes.
I'm not saying the trade deadline doesn't have excitement to it, but the trades have started happening earlier.
Yeah,
GMs, sometimes they'll even make a trade a month before the trade deadline.
Yeah.
And they'll say, well, I wasn't going to do any better at the deadline, so I might as well just get the player now and have him on my team for longer. And then sometimes the trade deadline is fairly underwhelming. I mean, there might be a lot of trades, but there aren't a lot that move the needle.
Yeah.
So now it's starting, right? I mean, and you got some guys who were pretty high picks being traded, right? Like Nemec, I guess even Kachuk, Eklund,
Kyrou,
Byram, so guys who were drafted pretty high, and some of these guys are still relatively young that are being moved, right? So GM's got to think a year or two ahead. What's the cap going to be? What's this guy going to want? What are these picks going to turn out to be?
So you think Chicago just wanted him because obviously he's 25 years old. He's got NHL experience, got playoff experience. He's going to cost him a pretty ticket if he decides to stay in Chicago. He is.
Sure.
He's going to get paid. Do you think that's a better move for the Blackhawks, who are probably still years away from competing for a playoff spot, or drafting a guy that could potentially be a top pairing stud defenseman or a top line forward for them, another center? Which option do you think was best for this team going forward?
For the Hawks?
Yeah.
Okay, well, look, I'm just looking at their roster. Their top scoring defenseman last year was Crevier.
Yeah. Who's going the other way.
Right, and he had 25 points.
Yeah.
Okay, so Byram had over 40.
Yeah.
So they're probably thinking we need someone back there who can get the puck up to Bedard and some of the other players.
But okay, so do you think it was too much to give up that 4th overall pick? Again, the 4th overall pick, he's probably going to play in the NHL.
Right.
But to what extent and what kind of player is he going to be? We don't know that yet.
Well, I think Chicago probably wants to improve this year.
I mean,
they don't want to be out of it again.
Yeah.
I mean, where'd they wind up this year? Were they still in the bottom 5 overall? What was their point total? Well, they were second last still. They were only ahead of Vancouver.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So they got to start getting it going here. I mean, they got Bedard.
Yeah.
Like, they got to start pushing.
But I don't know how much Bowen Byram moves the needle for them. Like, obviously, he's going to lead them in points. He's probably going to play a ton of minutes. I think he was 3rd in minutes in Buffalo. No, he was on a better team, too.
Right.
Second power play unit. He'll play on the top one there. I like the player, don't get me wrong. I think Gager held him as a baby. He always tells me. Was it Bowen Byram? I'll ask him.
Was it Byram or Drury?
He's held a few babies.
Yeah, well Gage is out there.
I think it was Bowen Byram. He knows. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But an interesting trade. And listen, social media is social media, but the consensus on social media from a lot of media and fans alike were like, what are the Blackhawks doing? But like you said, they probably are like, we need to move along, and we think Bowen Byram will get signed long-term for the next 6 to 7 years, and he'll be one of our main guys in the back end. We can't wait for another defenseman 2, 3 years, 4 years down the road, right?
JFNB in the Nasty Jet says Bedard is so overrated. Gord says Hawks roster is a disaster, like they have been bad a long time now. How do they have suspects coming through the system as much as they have prospects? That's a fair point. I mean, they've kind of gotten passed by San Jose and Anaheim.
100%.
Right, in the process of teams trying to work up in the
they're probably only ahead of
Western
Vancouver.
Conference. Well, they were in the standings last year. So they probably had to do something, right? And they probably thought, okay, we didn't have anybody with any dynamic offensive ability on the back end. So if we can get Byram, at least we're better getting the puck up to Bedard.
Yeah. And I always trust the media that covers them on a daily basis. And a lot of them, the Mark Lazarus of the world, and they were blown away by this deal.
Right.
And not in a good way.
Right.
So I trust them because they cover this team on the regular. They know the ins and out. Davidson's taking a lot of heat for this trade, but we'll see. We'll see, what that 4th, and we don't know who they were thinking at 4th overall. We'll never know, right? So whoever Buffalo takes at 4, that might not have been their pick, right? So we can never judge, really. I mean, we can judge at the top 4 because those are the players that will be there, right? And then go from there. But
yeah, I mean, I don't know if Bedard is overrated. I mean, he's still relatively young, but as we know, not all first overall draft picks are created equal. And maybe he's not going to be quite as good as was thought. And I mean,
he's on a terrible team, though.
Right? That doesn't help.
It doesn't help. And
what did he score? 30 goals. That was his best year. Played 39 games this past year. I mean, you still never know. But so Schaefer, you'd sooner have Schaefer than Bedard. We're already at the point where you'd sooner have Celebrini than Bedard.
Bedard, yeah.
Slafkovsky or Bedard?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Like Slafkovsky's pretty good all around.
All around, yeah.
All around player.
That's a really good one, yeah.
Owen Power to Buffalo in 2021. Lafreniere with the Rangers. I'd probably sooner have Bedard.
Oh, I'd have Bedard over Lafreniere.
Jack Hughes or Bedard?
Jack Hughes.
Probably have Jack Hughes. So that's just going back 5 or 6 years.
Yeah. And like you said, they don't all turn into be superstars. I think Connor Bedard can still be a star. His team will improve down the road here, and he will have better players to play with. His shot is all world. We all know that. But yeah, again, I don't think we should call him, what was he, overrated? I think he's rated just fine right now. I don't think anyone's really overblowing this guy and hyping him up.
But yeah, I guess if you're first overall, you're expected to be if you're the first overall pick, would it not be hoped that by your 4th or 5th season, you're one of the top 10 or 20 players in the league? Like, would anybody list, and I guess maybe with Slafkovsky, you wouldn't list him that high.
Was Taylor Hall?
Well, he won the Hart Trophy.
But not with the Oilers.
No, but
yeah, eventually he did win.
But there was one season. I can't remember what it was. It would have been pretty early on because I think it was when Tyler Dello used to come on Oilers Now when I was producing it. There was a stat for like what percentage of your goals, of your team's goals, are you on the ice for, or something like that. And Taylor Hall was at over 100% because he assisted on a goal, but then changed when it was actually scored. So it was some weird stat,
really?
or like, I think it was when a goal is, when you're on the ice for a goal, what percentage do you actually have a point for it?
Oh, okay.
And every time the Oilers scored with him on the ice, he was involved in the goal, and then he got an assist on a goal that he was on the bench for.
Oh, wow.
It was some weird thing like that. Anyway, that's a bit of a...
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Bedard is...
Yeah, I mean, JFB says he means overrated in terms of someone being touted as a generational talent.
Yeah.
Right. Like, obviously, he's a very good hockey player.
And I even...
But he's not... So who are the... Like, they always... Who would the generational players be? It was like Orr, Lafleur, Gretzky, Lemieux, Lindros,
Crosby,
Ovechkin, McDavid.
You don't think Ovechkin?
Well, I'm saying like touted going into the draft.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that generational, I think, is being tossed around way too easily nowadays. I never thought Bedard was a generational player. I thought he'd be a superstar. No, he still can be.
Sure.
I mean,
and again, who's around him right now? I mean, This is the whole thing when we look back on the Oilers picks. Well, who was around Hall and Nugent Hopkins and Eberle?
Who were they playing with and all that? So
individual points percentage. That's what Amishman was. He says much more eloquently than I did because I was trying to remember it. Statue Boss Productions. Hall winning the Hart was the worst pick in my lifetime. I will die on that hill. Who else was up for the Hart that year? I don't even remember.
What year did he win it?
But he had some. I mean, the Devils were in the playoffs. He had some, didn't he have like a 26-game point streak or something like that?
He was really good, man. I mean, there's nothing to take away from him. He won it in 2017-18.
Yeah, I don't remember what the voting was that year.
Let me take a look. If I can find it.
Because I think he was over a point a game, but I don't think he had a massive.
So he was up against Anze Kopitar and Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
McKinnon had 97 points, career high back then. Anze posted 92. And Taylor Hall, a 27-point improvement in the standings, a playoff berth, and a career high 93 points.
So that was the thing they really voted for the most valuable to his team.
To his team,
right?
Which was Taylor Hall.
Yeah. Yeah. People are getting ready for Canada too, which is nice.
Yeah, lineups are out. Saliba in for Kone. Everything else stays the same. We'll see if we get Alphonso Davies.
But Davies may be off the bench.
Maybe off the bench. It's a big game. So Canada needs a tie, and they finish first.
Yeah, but they're going to play to win.
They're going to play to win. You never play for a tie.
No, this is the best team they've played.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes, don't sleep on them.
I want to see how Canada handles it. I want to see if they can play aggressive and keep the ball away from Switzerland.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Possession's going to be huge.
I mean, our goalie will probably actually have to do something today.
Yeah. So
Sar had one touch in the Canadian penalty area.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's difficult, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be great. I know a lot of people down there posting on Instagram, doing the walk now into the stadium. It looks amazing. The World Cup's the best. Weather looks great. It's going to be fun. And that's coming up next on EST Afternoon. It's a watch along with Joaquin, myself, and the Cube. We'll also, during the halftime, we'll do some different stuff. And I'll get Joaquin's thoughts on all the trades we saw yesterday as well. But it's going to be a watch along. It's Canada, man. The nation stops for 2 hours, including Joaquin and I. And I don't care what Dusty has to say. We're going to watch the game and talk about it and have goal calls and have fun. You guys did it the other day. It's fun, right?
Yeah, we did it for the 6-0 game, which was, I was a little emotional because I was thinking like, I remember in the 90s because we were in the World Cup in 86. Yeah. And then in the 90s, it was just like so bad and it was just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like we're so irrelevant. And then for them to go out there and yeah, of course they beat a lower down team, but they used to be the team that couldn't beat the other lower down teams because they were even worse.
Yeah. And what a way to win your first ever game at the World Cup, 6-0. And listen, you can only play the teams they put in front of you.
Yeah.
So I hate that argument. Well, it was Qatar. Well,
everybody's got somebody in their pool that's was in the fourth pot.
Exactly.
So I just want to see. You could like to one extent where you finish in your pool. Because you could win your pool, but then another team finished second, but they're like eighth in the world. It didn't have it. So it's not always an advantage to finishing first. You got to beat who's ever in front of you, but staying in Vancouver. Yeah. That's the thing. If they finish first in their pool, they get to stay in Vancouver.
Yeah, that's huge. And more days off.
Oh yeah, because if they're second, don't they play Sunday already?
Yeah, they'll play in 3 days. If they win or tie, they'll play in 7 days. And that's better for Alfonso, for the guys that are injured, more time to recover. So it's going to be fun. I can't wait. Join us if you're at work, you can only listen, and we're still going to try to keep you as entertained as possible. If you want to watch us and have the game on another screen, that's welcome too. Let's have some fun. Go Canada, go. They take on the Swiss coming up in about 7 minutes time. It's going to be great. And there's a lot of games today. A lot of games because we're going into the third round of the round robin.
But they're going on at the same time, right?
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part, but they have to because then there's no...
so you don't do teams like, we just need a tie, so we'll just kick it back and forth. Yeah, well, there's still only 4 games. There's still the 4 games, but they're 2 at 1 and 2 at 4. They're not spaced out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's just, you're just adding more.
Because Bosnia and Qatar are playing... Where's that game? That's in Seattle.
Yeah. And that's at 1 as well.
Yeah, Scotland, Brazil, 4 o'clock in Miami. And I'm sorry. There are 6 games today.
Yeah, there's 6.
My bad.
Sorry, I thought you meant.
I stand corrected. I'm foolish once again.
Yeah, because Mexico plays Czechia, South Africa's playing Korea, and then you have this group games. Yeah, there's a handful of games today, and it's great. I really enjoy it. And, of course, don't forget the Edmonton Elks tomorrow. Kick off week 4 in the CFL. They're in Winnipeg to take on the Blue Bombers. The big change, Nick Anderson out for this game. Mogensen will draw in at middle line backer. That's the big move. There's a few other moves, but they're for backup positions. Everything else remains the same. We'll see if the Elks can go to 3-0 tomorrow. Reid, you're a gentleman and a scholar.
As are you.
And you're going to go in the chill zone now with Mr. Mill.
Watch some footy.
Watch some footy. Don't go anywhere. Watch along. Canada, Switzerland coming up. Thank you for joining us and for all the messages to the inbox and the Nast chat and for the thumbs up. Enjoy the game. Don't go anywhere. We're locked in here until 6 p.m. here on Edmonton Sports Talk. For Reid and Coob, I'm Hernan saying thank you for your time. We'll see you in a few minutes. Ciao.